As people, we are motivated by what others do. Hence, we use the word admiration. So instead of asking to learn how you have achieved those things, one would admire to be in your position, or wanting to assume your position, to think that maybe if I was him. When you're speaking to maybe the women, how would you, one, advise, and what do you think could be their problem? Because when we talk of even the educational system, when you look at grading, women are given lower grades. Just these very differences, I think, for me, these are where we need to start also understanding. If you're advising a woman, what do you think is the narrative for most women? Because just a few minutes ago, I was looking at a post that shows abantu n'abapanga Q kuma ECZ, meaning there are already underlying problems. So is it something that has to do with the upbringing, the education, or how would you advise? I don't know whether my question is making sense there.
Thanks, Peter. Your question makes a lot of sense, and it's a good question. That's why sometimes I always tell you that wisdom will kill you one day, because it's just a young, wise man. I think I'm going to respond in this manner. My advice to young ladies, I'll say these things with experience. Marriage is a good thing. It's a sweet thing. It's a need. And it's something that every woman, every lady would need to get into. There's so much good in marriages, but it's not all the marriages called marriages. You need to do your homework. You need to make sure that as you get into marriages, you need to pray that God has given you a husband who's going to look after you, who's going to be there for you. There's a difference between a man and a boy. And marriages are not for boys who would want, like they are earning 5,000 kwacha, they want to pay rentals 4,000 kwacha, they want to get a loan so that they can buy a car. Those are decisions for the boys in marriages. But a man would earn and plan with you for your future. In a case where he's not there, you safeguard your future with your children. And that is where you need to have someone who's thinking about you. Even when he comes back home, you know the behavior. Okay, baby, I'm home. And you won't question that he's home because he's going to give you attention. It's not all marriages that are broken. Marriages are sweeter. And the other thing that I can also emphasize on, ulunkumbwa, you need to know the man that you are dating. We know the market practice of the salaries in Zambia. You'd find that the well-paid, educated men who are just from school, they earn maybe market to about 6,000 kwacha. And then you need to bring the iPhone 14 to your boyfriend to buy it for you on your birthday. You are stressing this man. Be real. If you are building the future and you are in the so-called courtship, be real. Sometimes stop him. He wants to go over the budget, he wants to do something. Remind him, say like, hey, don't just be a receiver where you don't even know where this man, if he's stealing from work or is using his savings. You need to be real, because in as much as we talk of men, you know everything to say like, okay, but akaka phone akaka 13 pin. Now this 13 pin, where did this man get the money from? And how long is he going to continue doing this? This is the reason why you find that because you fail to manage your courtship when you are boyfriend and girlfriend, the man is exaggerating because he wants to keep you. When you get into marriages, you find that it's payback time. Not even one day the man ever taken you to the Bonairs to buy a capiza or something, because this man wasn't acting real and you were not there to remind this man to say like, no, stop, don't exaggerate things here, let's be real to one another. You accepted the fake treatment from your man when even you knew to say this is not what it is. Each and every time Maresa Mukusenda, you want him to book a cab to pick you, use public transport if you know he doesn't have a car. Because these taxis that you are using to and from, you want to manage. You need to know the partner that you're getting yourself into. This is the reason why if you ask most women who are in marriages, they would tell you to say like, I only enjoyed marriage when we were a boyfriend and a girlfriend. But now I've gotten into this marriage. It's a shpikisha crab. You saw these things. It's just because you allowed the pretense from your man. So marriage is a sweet, sweet, sweet thing. If only you take time and do the pros and cons before you jump into it. And you make sure that you stop the man when he pretends, you remind him, don't. It's not every time to say you need the big parties. The man has to sponsor your birthday parties. You even want to call your so-called friends to come, and you need, just because you want to have something to show on your status. But this your man, where is getting this money from? You don't know. Men go through a lot to just manage relationship. We need to be helped by the so-called ladies, because we are into it together. If the marriages and the relationships are managed in oneness, trust me, it's sweeter. It's sweeter. But this is the reason why you find that the infidelity side is even higher, because there's so much pretense. Because the things that you are posting on your status, there's another lady somewhere who's saying, at least shuka, this boyfriend is able to do these things, and you're putting your boyfriend at a risk, because now these so-called your friends that you invited, they start now knocking on the doors of this boyfriend so that they can also have the share. And this is the reason why you find that most of these so-called men's cheat. It's not cheating from people who doesn't even know that you are married. It's people within the circle, and the biggest marketer and the advertiser is the so-called partner, because you want to post everything on Facebook, you want to post my baby, you want to show you are in Zambia. Do it under your carpet. That's your enemy not knowing what you are doing. And that is the medicine to maintain the relationship. It's not everything that should be on your status. You are just marketing and exposing how good your man is, and is becoming a target. That's my advice to young ladies. Do not be scared to get married, to say like, no, I would rather not get married. Marriage is a sweet thing. And when I mean sweet that you've never tasted. You are yet to taste it. It's sweet. Trust me on that one. And he who finds a woman finds a good thing. And on top of that, you receive favor, my friend. Not he who finds a knife. There are so many people who have found a knife and they call it to say, I have a wife. What happens? Oh, those are knives that you found. But if you had put everything into consideration, God would have blessed you with a wife. And we all need wives. And we thank God for our wives for standing strong and for all what they are doing. Talking about a wife, he who finds a wife. And we pray that may all knives should turn into being a wife of a husband.